Hi, my name's Darren Moore and I'm Group Commercial Director at TaxAssist Accountants. And some background, TaxAssist Accountants are a network of accountants across the UK with getting on to 400 locations and just under 80,000 clients, most of whom are small businesses. And my job is to help support our network and to help them through these difficult times and the challenges that COVID-19 is presenting. So today I would like to talk about our ongoing concerns about groups that we still don't think are being fairly treated. We've talked before about those concerns. We've sent a previous letter to the Chancellor in early April setting those out. Some of those points have been dealt with in recent times, but there are still two key groups that we think are missing out unfairly. So I just wanted to talk about who they are and what we think could be done. So first group are the self-employed. So the self-employed, of which there are millions, are being supported through the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme, but there are gaps. And the main gap, we think, is really around those that are newly self-employed, so from the 5th of April 2019. Now, that group isn't eligible at this stage under the scheme because there isn't really any information on public record with HMRC, so they don't feel that they can check it against their own information. Well, we feel that's unfair. It unfairly treats those that are newly self-employed, those entrepreneurial individuals who have made that bold decision to start up their own business in the last year or two. So what we'd like to see is a way around that, because there are hundreds of thousands potentially impacted by this. So what we're proposing is that there is a simple grant scheme under the SEISS scheme, as it's called, with some form of payout, which will be just claimed by those individuals, supporting them as a one-off grant. Now, there's lots of different ways that can be done, but we don't think it's impossible. Yes, it can't be easily corroborated against records that HMRC have, but the accountancy profession, of which we're part, can certainly validate that information and can help. So we think there is a way. The other group that's been affected are the directors of small companies. And again, we've talked about this before, but that grouping is affected in a couple of ways, mostly around the existing job retention scheme and how you claim monies. Now, those small company directors typically are paid a small salary, £500–600 per month, with the rest of their profits taken out by way of dividend. And as the scheme stands, those dividends are not eligible. So there's a huge number of small company directors out there who are struggling. Their livelihoods are at risk and their businesses are at risk. And they're really at the core of that small business sector. We need them to be operating effectively, so we need to find a way to help them. What could we do? Well, HMRC are talking about their main issue being the information on record through their tax returns. So all of their dividend income will be recorded. But what HMRC is saying is, look, we haven't got the split between what's coming out of their business and what's coming from other sources, so investment funds, portfolios, that sort of thing. In reality, we don't think that your typical small company director is sitting there with a huge investment pot that's generating substantial dividends. So we don't quite buy into that, but we think there is a way. It would be perfectly possible for a claim to be made under the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. And it could very simply be subject to the same rules, so the same cap of 80% as was, now 70%, capped at 50,000 with 3-month claim at the levels that have been recently announced, but paid out in relation to dividends. It couldn't be checked against the information that HMRC have easily, although we think there'd be only small elements that would be outside of their normal business, but it could be something that the accountancy profession can help with. The profession, generally speaking, has access to all of their accounts and their dividend information, so why not let the profession help? Why not let them support their clients and actually make claims on their behalf based on what they know about those individuals and their businesses? So we do think there's a way, and we'd like to see the government consider this over the coming weeks. We know there's a lot of work that they've already done, but we do think this is a gap, and we do think there is a solution here. So we are writing to the Chancellor, setting out our concerns once again. We think there is a viable option there, and we hope that it's considered. There is a big group missing out, and we'd like to see a way around that. So I hope this has given you an insight into where we are in our concerns. We think there are some valid concerns there. If you do want more information on TaxAssist and how we're operating, then please do look at our website, taxassist.co.uk, and thank you for your time.